Okay, so there is a massive shift happening right under our feet. And no, it's not about the day-to-day market noise. It's about the very plumbing of our monetary world being totally ripped out and redesigned. And it connects everything from the AI on your phone to the dollars in your bank account.
You know the question, right? It's been everywhere for the last few years. Will inflation stay high? Every single headline, every central bank press conference, it's all been about trying to answer this one question, hoping we can get back to that comfortable, predictable 2% world we thought we knew.
But here's the thing. What if that's the wrong question entirely? What if our obsession with inflation is actually a huge distraction from the real story, from a change that's happening on a much, much deeper level?
And that's really the heart of what we're going to unpack today. This isn't just another economic cycle. The whole financial system, I'm talking its pipes, its rails, the very idea of what money even is being rewired from the ground up.
So if we really want to understand what's coming next, we've got to stop looking at the old playbook. We have to start looking at the new architecture that's being built all around us. We have to change the question.
And this leads us to the big idea, the central thesis of this whole thing. We are moving into what you could call a dual system world. This isn't about one system killing another. It's about two parallel systems running at the exact same time. And here's the crazy part. They are both anchored to the very same foundation.
So let's pop the hood and look at the new plumbing, right? How did these two monetary rails actually work? And, maybe more importantly, where in the world do they connect?
Okay, so on one side, you've got the fiat rail. This is the world you know. It's your bank account, government bonds, the whole traditional financial setup. But then, on the other side, you've got this new crypto rail that's been built in parallel. It runs on things like dollar-backed stablecoins and other tokenized assets.
Now, this is where it gets really counterintuitive. You'd think these two systems would be at war with each other, right? Competing for capital. But if you actually follow the money, that's not the story at all. Both of these rails, the old one and the new one, are funneling global savings into the exact same asset, short-term U.S. government debt.
And the numbers here, they're just mind-blowing. Think about this. Just two companies that issue stablecoins, Tether and Circle, are holding over $130 billion in USD bills. I mean, that's more than a lot of countries have in reserves. The crypto rail isn't trying to kill the dollar system, it's become one of its biggest customers.
So you have to ask, what on earth is causing a reorganization this massive? What force could possibly be powerful enough to reshape the entire global monetary system? Well, the answer is a whole new industrial revolution, and this one is built on artificial intelligence.
You know, back in the day, industrial might was all about coal, railroads, oil, highways, tangible stuff. Today, the new industrial base is, well, it's a stack. It starts with raw energy. That energy powers the compute layer. Think data centers, GPUs, all that hardware. And then, out of that compute layer emerges intelligence, the AIs that are starting to reorganize, well, everything.
And here's the key, the thing you really need to grasp. This is not your normal boom and bust cycle. The hunger for compute, the stuff that fuels AI, is basically infinite. It's a flywheel. Every AI breakthrough demands more powerful computers, which in turn enables the next breakthrough. It just keeps spinning faster and faster.
Okay, so how does this AI engine connect back to the money? Because this isn't just a tech story, it's a financial one. This AI revolution has created this incredibly powerful self-feeding funding loop that plugs right back into those two monetary rails we were just talking about.
So here's piece number one of the puzzle. At its core, AI pushes costs down. It is deflationary by its very nature. It automates jobs, it makes supply chains hyper-efficient, it just makes everything cheaper to produce, and that puts this constant downward pressure on prices across the board.
But here's the catch. A world where prices and wages are always falling, that's political dynamite. No one wants that. So, what do governments do? They have to react. They push money out. Think stimulus checks, transfer payments, running huge deficits, anything to prop up demand and stop the whole system from grinding to a halt.
All right, so the government is spending money it doesn't have. It needs to borrow, and borrow on a massive scale. And here's the million-dollar question. Who's buying all that new government debt? This is the moment where it all clicks together. Okay, let's walk through the whole loop from start to finish. Step 1, AI creates that deflationary pressure. Step 2, the government responds with massive deficit spending. Step 3, they fund that spending by issuing tons of short-term Treasury bills. And who buys them? Both rails. The traditional fiat rail and the new crypto rail are soaking up these T-bills as collateral. And guess what?
This keeps funding cheap for the government, which also keeps funding cheap for the very companies building the AI that started the whole cycle. The loop closes and the whole engine just spins faster.
Okay, I know. This is a huge bird's-eye view of the world. But what does it actually mean for you, for me? How are we supposed to navigate our own finances when the entire game is changing? Let's bring this down to earth.
One of the most useful ways to think about this is the difference between inside money and outside money. Inside money is basically anything that's a promise within the system. Your bank deposit, that's the bank's promise to pay you. It's inside the machine, subject to all its rules and risks. On the other hand, you have outside money. Think physical gold, Bitcoin, assets that exist outside that system of promises. Their value doesn't depend on a third party making good.
So, let's just recap the big picture here. We have a monetary world that's being completely rebuilt around this dual-rail system. It's all being powered by a new AI industrial engine that pushes down costs, which then forces a government policy response. And the linchpin holding it all together is the U.S. short-term debt market. In a world like this, understanding the fundamental difference between your assets that are inside the system and those that are outside of it, well, it's absolutely crucial.
Look, the big takeaway here isn't that the sky is falling or that the system is about to break. It's not breaking, it's reorganizing. It's morphing into something totally new. The old rules, the old economic indicators we used to watch, they just don't really apply anymore because the very structure they were built to measure is changing. So the real question for you is, now that you can see the blueprints, are you ready for this new architecture?